Chapter 31. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. After the weekend, freshman military training kicked off as planned. Even though it was late August and early September, Xijing was still scorching hot. By 9 a.m., the sky was cloudless, and the sun beat down relentlessly. Rows of freshmen in brand-new, military green camouflage stood rigidly at attention on Jiaotong University's parade grounds, baking in the heat. All right. Stand at ease. Attention, Instructor Sun, tanned and tough, barked at the assembled freshmen. Count off. 1. 2. 3. 19. Report, Instructor. Luigi, temporarily designated squad leader for his height and build, yelled. Finance Class 4, 22 students assigned, 19 present, report complete. Instructor Sun frowned at the number. What's going on? He demanded, his voice low and dangerous. So many absent on the first day? Reporting, Instructor. Luigi shouted. Zhu Hao took sick leave, fever due to adjusting to the climate. Jiang Cheng took sick leave, says he caught it from Zhu Hao. Li Xiaofeng took sick leave, says he caught it from Jiang Cheng. Damn it, Instructor Sun's face darkened. One guy gets sick, and the whole dorm goes down. Yes, sir. Instructor. Luigi yelled. As their roommate, I'm starting to feel a little dizzy myself. Instructor Sun. While the freshmen were sweating through drills under the blazing sun, Jiang Cheng was already kicking back in the stock exchange's VIP room, enjoying the air conditioning and attentive service from a beautiful office assistant. So, that's the deal. Wen Jie, in her Zhaoheng Securities short skirt uniform, said politely, does that meet your needs, Mr. Jiang? Yeah, triple leverage funding is fine with me. Jiang Cheng replied casually, sipping the black tea she'd brewed. He knew getting more than triple leverage on a brand new account was next to impossible without some shady dealings. Triple leverage plus his own money brought him to 12 million, which would have to do. I'm glad to hear it. When Jie's previously tense expression finally relaxed into a smile, she breathed a sigh of relief. The truth was, Jiang Cheng didn't really qualify for Zhaoshang Securities' special triple leverage. The initial request was only for double the normal amount. But when Jie had honestly explained Jiang Cheng's situation to her superiors, back-to-back limit-up gains, suddenly having an extra 3 million in working capital, it all screamed that this wasn't your average kid, and he probably had some serious family money behind him. Zhaoheng Bank's director clearly agreed with Wen Jie's hunch. That's why he put Jiang Cheng on Zhaoheng Bank's list of high potential clients, granting him a 1-month trial of triple leverage. As an intern, landing a big fish like this was a major win for Wen Jie. Mr. Jiang, if you have no further questions, please sign the capital allocation contract. Wen Jie, beaming, handed over the printed documents. Jiang Cheng nodded and signed with a flourish. After the contract was signed, Wen Jie opened a Zhaoheng Golden Sunflower VIP card account for Jiang Cheng to handle his large-scale investments. Of course, this was at the director's suggestion. After all, a young guy like Jiang Cheng with millions in liquid assets was exactly the kind of premium customer the bank wanted to hook. Like they say, charity begins at home. Zhaoshang Securities and Zhaoshang Bank were part of the same company, so naturally they wanted to get their hands on him first. Jiang Cheng was perfectly aware of these little games, but he'd always found Zhaoshang Bank's service and efficiency better than the other banks, so he was fine with giving them the business. His account would eventually hold tens of millions, hundreds of millions, even billions. That made him a top-tier client any bank would kill for. Mr. Jiang. After all the paperwork was done, Wen Jie asked politely, will you be starting right away? Absolutely. Jiang Cheng nodded, scanning the stock market display on the VIP computer terminal. He quickly zeroed in on his target. Yunnan mining was currently limit down, but the system showed a potential 24-hour return of 30% or more, another limit up day. And because it was a continuous limit down, there was a flood of sell orders, no waiting required. Without hesitation, he went all in, triple leverage, plus principal, all 12 million. Mr. Jiang, are you planning to build a position gradually, or sigma, degree? Done and done. Jiang Cheng calmly picked up his teacup and took a sip. Gotta hand it to the big banks, their tea just tasted better, silky smooth, just like Jiang Cheng subconsciously glanced at the pair of sleek, black-stockinged legs in front of him. Wait, triple leverage. 12 million, all at once. When Jia blurted out, her delicate face panicked. She'd been so confident in Jiang Cheng before, but this suddenly made her uneasy, betting 12 million on a limit-down stock. That was crazy. Insane. This wasn't investing, it was gambling. Mr. Jiang. Wen Jia said worriedly. According to our margin agreement, the forced liquidation line is set high at 90%. In other words, if Yunnan Mining hits limit down again, not only will our margin agreement be immediately cancelled, but almost half of your 3 million principal will be forcibly liquidated by our company. Okay. Jiang Cheng raised an eyebrow, his expression indifferent. You make a valid point, but the deal is already sealed. Watching Jiang Cheng casually munch on the fruit plate, Wen Jia was speechless, but as he said, there was nothing left to do but wait. Unlike the worried Wen Jia, Jiang Cheng wasn't stressed in the least. After leisurely polishing off a box of watermelon and other fruit, Jiang Cheng sat back down at the computer and sold off the Xiaofu jewelry shares in his old trading account. The principal plus the profits totaled just over 100,000. Enough for pocket money, Jiang Cheng thought it over. The VIP room had food, drinks, and pretty office assistants, which was all well and good, but ditching class to come here every day was a pain. For convenience's sake, he decided to buy himself a computer. Having made up his mind, Jiang Cheng said goodbye to Wen Jia, patted his rear end, and left. Chapter 32. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I headed out and grabbed a cab straight to SEG Digital in Xiaozhai. The second I stepped into Digital City, it was like walking into a feeding frenzy. Hustlers on both sides of the gate swarmed me, smelling fresh meat. Hey, man, need help setting up a computer? Want the rundown first? College kid, lookin' a little lost. Free computer consultation right here. Straight up installs, no rip-offs. Check it out. Lookin' good, dude. I'll whip up a killer config for free. Pentium dual-core rig with a dedicated graphics card, max settings on WoW, $500 delivered to your door. I ignored the assembly area wolves, putting on my best poker face, and headed straight for the brand name computer section on the second floor. Digital City was a notorious money pit for custom builds. They'd fleece you every which way. No wonder online retailers were going to eat their lunch. Upstairs in the brand name area, things were a lot quieter. Sure, the occasional salesperson would give me the once-over, but it was a far cry from the piranha tank downstairs. Hey there, looking for a computer? After a bit of browsing, a female salesperson approached me, all smiles. Wanna check out our Lianxiang computers? Fortune 500 company, China's #1 computer brand. No, thanks. I didn't even bother looking at her. Those guys were never getting my money. Filled with resentment, I walked along the aisle, finally stopping in front of a uniquely decorated shop. The black interior, accented with purple, blue, and white LED strips, screamed cyberpunk. The Alienware logo, with its alien head, was prominently displayed on the door. Aliens. I froze at the entrance, suddenly feeling emotional. Alienware was the top-shelf brand, known for its premium quality, insane performance, and top-notch service. In my previous life, I'd always wanted one, but the insane price tag always scared me off. But now, money was no object. Hello, welcome to the Alienware store. As I walked in, a salesperson in a branded uniform came up, all smiles. I'm Xiao Qing, your personal shopping assistant. Looking forward to helping you. She was polite and respectful, didn't look down on me just because I was a college kid. I nodded, a little disappointed. For a second there, I thought I was about to live out one of those online novel tropes where the MC plays it cool and slaps someone in the face. Guess I was getting ahead of myself. Sir, are you looking for a desktop or a laptop? Xiao Qing asked with a smile. Laptop. Alright, please follow me. Xiao Qing led me to the laptop display in the center of the store, pointing to one of the models. This is the brand new Alienware M17X, our flagship laptop for this year. It comes with the most advanced quad-core, 8-thread Intel Core i7-920XM processor on the market, and the Intel x85 motherboard chipset. Okay, I interrupted with a wave. Got any in stock? Wrap one up for me. Huh, that my sudden interruption threw her for a loop, leaving her mouth hanging open. Alienware laptops were definitely pricey, which meant every salesperson got extensive training on how to build up the customer's desire before dropping the price bomb, but this guy wasn't even asking about the specs, which made Xiaoqing feel completely lost. Sir. Xiaoqing gave an awkward, polite smile, her voice a little hesitant. Our Alienware products are high-end, so the price might be a little different from your average computer. Yeah, how much? Depending on the configuration, they're priced at 16,999, 26,999, 36,999. Alright, I'll take the top-end model. Xiaoqing was stunned. Did I not make myself clear? Sir, are you sure you want the top-of-the-line Alienware M17X for 36,999? What? You're out of stock. I touched my chin, thinking this girl was being a bit of a pain. No. We definitely have it. Please wait a moment, sir. From there, things were easy. I swiped my card, grabbed the laptop, and walked out with Xiaoqing's respectful 90-degree bow still in my mind. As I headed for the elevator, I saw two young women walking towards me, followed by a lanky guy. He had a pointy nose and shifty eyes, like he was trying way too hard to impress them. Jiang Cheng, the short-haired girl spotted me and shouted in surprise. I froze, and looked over. Oh great. Small world, meet Ling Runen. Hey, Runen. I smiled and walked over to greet them. Hey, Jiang. Hey there, Jiang. Talk about fate. The taller girl, Lu Na, grinned, tugging on Ling Runen's arm. Runen gave her a shy, playful look. Hey, who's this? Just as I was saying hello, the lanky guy, who had been fawning over the girls, stepped up and glared at me. This is Jiang Cheng. Seeing him approach, Lu Na's tone instantly turned cold. He saved us from those thugs last time. Risked his life to protect us. Oh. Right. The lanky guy nodded slowly, acting enlightened. Jiang Cheng, is it? I'm Ouyang Su, Runen's upperclassman. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I shook his hand politely. We really owe you one for helping Runen out last time. As he shook my hand, Ouyang Su raised his voice, a fake smile plastered on his face. Those scumbags were really awful. Yeah, well, I wasn't there that night. Otherwise, I would have called my boys and beat them to a pulp. Chapter 33. You are listening at undefeated.audio. Oh. Jiang Cheng just gave the guy a casual smile, not wanting to engage after he showed up late to the party. Okay, Senior Ouyang. Jiang Cheng's silence didn't mean everyone felt the same way. Lu Na, never one to hold back, jumped in. Seriously? It was a total emergency. You think we had time to wait for you to call for backup? Your brothers all fly fighter jets or something. You just snap your fingers and they appear. Ouyang Su's face fell. He shot a glance at Lu Na, but reined himself in because Ling Runen was there. Couldn't ruin that calm, mature, and impressive senior image he'd been cultivating. His face flushed with frustration, which made Jiang Cheng, standing nearby, stifle a laugh. Hey! Jiang Cheng. Ling Runen, always the peacemaker, saw the awkwardness and quickly changed the subject. You're here to pick out a computer. Yep. Jiang Cheng nodded. What a coincidence. I was planning to look at computers today too. Ling Runen tilted her head, giving a sweet smile. Jiang Cheng, you know a lot about computers, right? Can you recommend one to me? Well. Xiaonan. Ouyang Su, crashing the conversation without invitation, cut Jiang Cheng off. I've told you, nobody knows computer hardware like I do. If you have any questions, just ask me. Senior Ouyang, Lu Na, patience gone, said coldly, Xiaonan wants to buy a laptop, not some random Frankenstein creation. Mind your own business, okay? Laptop? Ouyang Su's eyes narrowed. I know all about those, that he puffed himself up. The best laptop brand is definitely Lenovo. My cousin uses one, and she says it's super user-friendly. One of the world's top 500 companies, a true national brand, the pride of domestic products. You can't go wrong with Lenovo. Well, there are other options, right? You mean foreign brands? Like Dell. They're good too. A friend of mine bought a Dell, and it runs great. But they're way more expensive than domestic brands. Listening to Ouyang Su's endless spiel, Ling Runan frowned. Spotting the black computer box in Jiang Cheng's hand, she asked, Hey, Jiang Cheng, you're holding the laptop you just bought, right? What brand is it? Jiang Cheng didn't answer, instead glancing meaningfully at the all-knowing Ouyang Su. That brand's interesting. Predictably, Mr. Know-It-All wasn't about to let Jiang Cheng get a word in. Look at that logo. Looks like an alien. Pretty goofy. He sneered at the ET alien head logo on the black box. Usually, big-name computer logos are minimalist, designed with the company's initials. That's high-end and classy. Seems like only the cheap brands go for these over-the-top designs. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng could barely contain his laughter. The king of understanding strikes again. Seeing Jiang Cheng's silence, Ouyang Su seemed to think his assessment was confirmed. He put his hands on his hips and pointed triumphantly at Jiang Cheng. See? A big company like Lenovo would never make a mistake like that. Lu Yian Lian, Shi Yang Xiang, Chinese pinyin, enhance our country's prestige. Jiang Cheng couldn't help bursting out laughing. God Tm Lu Yian Lian, Shi Yang Xiang, aside from the initial L, what was even remotely correct? Mr. Jiang. Mr. Jiang, the store's saleswoman suddenly hurried over. What's up? Oh, yes, it's like this, Xiaoqing, the salesperson, holding a packaging box, said breathlessly, this is your purchase invoice. You left in such a hurry, I almost forgot to give it to you. Oh, thanks. Jiang Cheng thanked her politely and took the invoice. And this? Unexpectedly, Xiaoqing handed over the box in her hand. Mr. Jiang, to commemorate the release of Alienware's first notebook this year, the company is giving a limited edition Dell Bluetooth speaker to every customer who bought the notebook for free. Oh, just as Jiang Cheng took the speaker and the invoice, Ouyang Su's voice broke in. Heh. Miss. Ouyang Su leaned in, sneering. Buy a knockoff computer, get a free set of Dell speakers. Your company must be hurting for cash. Sir, what are you talking about? Hearing the jab, Xiaoqing smiled politely. Alienware is the top high-end brand of Dell computer, the world's largest computer supplier. I don't know where you heard we're a knockoff brand. If Alienware is a knockoff, I guess there isn't a legitimate computer brand in the world. What? Ali, what? You're Dell, affiliated, Ouyang Su was speechless. Mr. Jiang, if you don't need anything else, I'll be going now. Xiaoqing ignored the stunned Ouyang Su, turning and bowing politely to Jiang Cheng. Yep. After the quick-witted saleswoman left, Ouyang Su perked up again. TSK, look at that girl bragging. Dell's top high-end brand, he licked his lips and laughed. These so-called sub-brands are just a gimmick. They're only 1,300 or 4,000 yuan, how high-end can they be? I'm telling you, my friend who uses Dell's real high-end stuff. A laptop costs more than 8,000 yuan. After you put it like that, it doesn't seem that high-end. Heh, Nana, you think so too, right? Yeah. Lu Na nodded. The price of Jiang Cheng's computer is 36,999. Heh, I said, what? The smile vanished from Ouyang Su's face. How much did you say? 36,999, it's right here on the receipt. Lu Na waved Jiang Cheng's purchase invoice in front of Ouyang Su's face, looking at the 5-digit number. Ouyang Su wanted to crawl under a rock, asterisk that was one sour face slap, asterisk. Okay, Xiaonan, let's go. Li Na, not giving him another glance, took Ling Runan's arm. We're obviously too low class for the high-end brands he's talking about. Jiang Cheng, are you free? Give us some advice. Sure. The three walked away side by side, leaving Ouyang Su standing there, embarrassed and disheveled. Chapter 34. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright, I think this one's pretty good. Jiang Cheng said, eyeing the pink laptop on display in the HP store on the second floor of SEG Digital. This one? Oh yeah, it's so cute. Ling Runan's inner child was completely smitten by the adorable pink laptop with its rounded design. Her slender fingers danced across the uniquely shaped keyboard, clearly unable to resist its charm. Exactly. Seeing how much she liked it, Jiang Cheng grabbed the spec sheet to take a closer look. It's got a 1.4 GHz Intel Core 2 Duo processor, 4 GB of RAM, a 512 GB SSD, and a dedicated graphics card. For this year, that's a pretty solid, high-end configuration. It should handle pretty much any popular online game. Honestly, specs are Greek to me, and I don't even play games. Ling Runan flashed a bright smile. I'm mostly getting a computer to watch dance tutorials and, use QQ and stream shows. I don't need something this powerful. Even as she said it, she couldn't take her hands off the computer. Jiang Cheng nodded. Still, I think this pink one really suits you. Really? Then, okay, I guess. Hearing that, Ling Runan lowered her head, a shy smile playing on her lips. If Jiang Cheng thinks so, then this is the one I'll get. Hold up a sec. Lu Na, who'd been quiet until now, suddenly grabbed Ling Runan's arm. Xiaonan. She glanced warily at Jiang Cheng, then whispered in Ling Runan's ear, don't jump the gun. Let's check the price first. Oh. Right. Ling Runan snapped out of her daze and quickly looked at the price tag under the computer, $86.99. That's over $3,000 more than my $5,000 budget. Wow, this is the first computer Jiang Cheng picked out for me. It's so perfect, I can't bear to give it up. Ling Runan's mind began to race with worry. Seeing her expression, Jiang Cheng figured she was just concerned about the price. Back in '09, nearly $9,000 was a hefty price tag, especially for students who didn't need high-end machines for graphic design or coding. But Jiang Cheng already had a plan in mind. Don't worry, Jiang Cheng said to Ling Runan with a reassuring smile. It's back-to-school season, so they usually have student discounts on brand-name computers. You two hang tight. I'll go ask the clerk if they have any specials going on right now. Okay, with that, Jiang Cheng headed straight for the cashier and quietly said to the staff member behind the counter, I want that pink laptop. Great. Hearing there was a sale to be made, the cashier's face lit up. Here's the deal, I'll pay half the price now. Jiang Cheng pointed to Ling Runan in the distance and lowered his voice. You tell her that HP is having a sale and the computer's 50% off today, and have her pay the other half. Just don't tell her I paid. Got it. The cashier gave Jiang Cheng a knowing look. After swiping his card, Jiang Cheng walked away and pulled up the system panel on his phone. System level, LV3, 42599/20000000. Yes. It worked. Jiang Cheng was thrilled. Spending money on others definitely counted toward leveling up the system. In a great mood, Jiang Cheng went back to Ling Runan and Lu Na. What's the word? The outspoken Lu Na asked immediately. Any deals? Ling Runan, standing next to her, looked on with wide, hopeful eyes. Yep. Jiang Cheng grinned. They're running a back-to-school special for new students. Select models are 50% off. And this one's included. F 50% off. That's amazing, that the two girls were overjoyed. Xiao Nan, what are we waiting for? Let's get it. Yeah, not after paying. Ling Runan, ecstatic to finally own her dream computer, could barely believe her luck. She got her favorite computer at such an incredible discount, she had to give credit to Jiang Cheng for her good luck. He was definitely her lucky charm, her guardian angel, her prince charming. Whoa, Ling Runan. Where did that come from? The three of them left the digital mall, laughing and chatting. Jiang Cheng politely declined Ling Runan's offer to treat him to dinner. After a friendly goodbye, he hopped in a cab back to school. He kicked the dorm door open, startling the fat guy who was grinding levels in some online game. Cheng's back. The fat guy turned around and saw the square computer box in Jiang Cheng's hand. Hey, did you get a new computer? Yep. Jiang Cheng tossed him a cigarette and sat down at the desk under his bunk to unbox it. Nice, man. The fat guy lost interest in grinding and walked over to Jiang Cheng's desk, cigarette in his mouth. Alienware. What brand is that? Looking at the English logo and the alien head, the fat guy scratched his head in confusion. Oh, it's a sub-brand of Dell. Jiang Cheng said casually, lifting the sleek laptop out of the box and plugging it in. Cool, all-metal body. Not bad. The fat guy seemed knowledgeable, admiring the cutting-edge Alienware laptop. Too bad they overheat like crazy in the summer. It's fine, I'll just use it to surf the web. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, browsing the web will be fine. But if you try to play games, this sub-brand laptop is gonna struggle. Heh. Just then, the dorm door swung open and Luigi walked in, sweaty, with a camouflage hat in one hand and a plate of fried noodles in the other. Fatty, chow time. Thanks, bro, the fat guy grinned, forgetting about Jiang Cheng and going to chow down on noodles. Whoa, Cheng's got a new toy. Luigi was excited to see the computer on Jiang Cheng's desk. When you're not using it, can I borrow it to play games? Be my guest, Jiang Cheng said. With this setup, you can play Minesweeper with max settings. Luigi. Chapter 35. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After chilling with his two roommates for a bit, Jiang Cheng finally got around to downloading and installing the stock trading software on his computer. He logged into his account and checked out the market. After all, dropping 12 million yuan was a serious investment, so he had to be careful. Just as he'd hoped, Dianan Mining, which had tanked in the morning, had bounced back completely. The chart was showing a sharp upward curve. Looks like it's only a matter of time before it hits the limit up. After checking the market, Jiang Cheng hopped on Chengdu to see what was up with Dianan Mining. Turns out, the company had discovered a massive rare earth mine. This top-tier, almost national treasure level resource was obviously huge for the stock. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng finally relaxed. Yo, Cheng, Feng showed up today. Luigi, who had been standing around fanning himself, piped up. Nah, haven't seen him. Crap, that's a problem. Luigi looked worried. Instructor Sun said everyone who skipped out needs a doctor's note from the school clinic. Otherwise, everyone's gotta be here. No note, no training, means you're reported to the department for ditching. Ah, man. Jiang Cheng sighed, guess his lazy sick day excuse wasn't gonna fly. Just then, the door to room 404 swung open, and Li Xiaofeng stumbled in, dripping with sweat. Feng's here. Get over here, dude, this heat is killer, Li Xiaofeng said, squeezing in under the fan. Where've you been? Jiang Cheng tossed him 2 cigarettes, curious. Don't even ask, Li Xiaofeng griped. I had this stock that was doing great, then it suddenly crashed today. Years of work, gone overnight. Which one? Jiang Cheng asked. Heat electric motor. Li Xiaofeng said, then noticed the laptop on Jiang Cheng's desk. Holy crap, Jiang, you're playing the market. What's up with that? You're trading stocks in the dorm. Heh, we're studying finance, gotta get some practice in, right? Jiang Cheng said casually, swiping his finger across the screen to find heat electric motor. he focused for a sec, and info popped up. The investment god thing only showed the stock market return rate for 24 hours. Right now, it was showing another day of limit down. Looks like this stock was in freefall, and it could get ugly fast. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng said, "Foam, I'd bail on that stock if I were you." "What? Sell at a loss?" Li Xiaofeng looked stunned. "I've held this thing forever, it's always been steady. It can't be that bad, can it? Just my 2 cents. Seeing his hesitation, Jiang Cheng added, "Me? I'd get out ASAP. You wait too long, you're gonna get burned." Whatever. I'll watch it for a bit." "Whoa, this is a big-time boss, huh? Impressive." Li Xiaofeng clearly wasn't listening. He shrugged it off and turned to watch the fat guy lead a raid on Kill Jaden. Jiang Cheng didn't push it, just sighed to himself. He'd given him a heads up. What he did with it was up to him. He couldn't exactly tell him he had superpowers, could he? For in the afternoon, sun blazing. "Ugh, I can't. Under the shade of a tree near the playground, Zhu Hao collapsed face first into the grass, groaning. Instructor Sun is a freaking sadist. Li Xiaofeng, also sprawled on the grass, dripped sweat. This sun. This heat. Is he trying to give us heatstroke? He's just messing with us three. Jiang Cheng, leaning against a tree trunk, said weakly. Since they couldn't get a doctor's note, Jiang Cheng and the others had been forced to rejoin the military training squad, tails between their legs. Maybe it was payback for trying to skip out that morning, but that dark-skinned instructor Sun had been riding their asses all afternoon, while the rest of the class got a break. He kept the three of them practicing drills in the middle of the playground, until their throats were raw and their feet were cramping. "I'm dying of thirst, let's get some water." Jiang Cheng licked his chapped lips and called to his buddies. "No way. I'm done," the fat guy wailed. "Cheng, my man. If you don't want to see me die of thirst, hook me up with an iced cola." Two of them. "Jiang, get me a whole bottle of Fanta. Grape. Please." Damn it, Jiang Cheng instantly turned errand boy, cursed under his breath, but what could he do? His bros were begging, he couldn't just abandon them like a bad parent, could he? Dusting himself off, Jiang Cheng headed down the tree-lined path towards the small shop by the playground. A minute later, he came out with a plastic bag full of drinks. A few steps later, the bottle of Bingyibao in his hand was empty. As he tossed the bottle in the trash, Jiang Cheng's eyes caught a tall, slender figure under a tree in the distance. It was Lu Xian, the brainy loner. She was sitting apart from the group, alone in the shade, shaking a yellowed water bottle that was bone dry. "Here." Jiang Cheng walked over and gently placed a bottle of ice water in front of her. "Oh." Lu Xian looked up, a little surprised. Their eyes met, and Jiang Cheng's heart skipped a beat. Lu Xian wasn't wearing her usual old-fashioned glasses, probably because of all the exercise, and because of the heat. Her bangs, which always looked like they hadn't been touched in years, were combed back and tucked under her camouflage hat. From his angle, Jiang Cheng could see her perfect features clearly for the first time. Her pale skin even had a hint of pink from the exercise. She looked delicate, like a flawless piece of jade. Jiang Cheng's mind went blank as he stared at her. For some reason, two lines of poetry kept repeating in his head. Always proud of the peerless beauty, and relying on the stunning figure. Chapter 36. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No need. Seeing it was Jiang Cheng, Lu Xian lowered her head, panicking as she refused. "It's okay, drink it." Jiang Cheng smiled. "It's hot out. You need to hydrate, or you'll get heatstroke." But. Lu Xian, practically devoid of social skills, mumbled nervously, her small hands twisting the edges of her military training uniform. She looked like a scared rabbit. Jiang Cheng's protective instincts kicked in. Without a second thought, he sat down next to her. "Lu Xian, have a drink." He twisted open an ice-cold Fanta and offered it to her. This. I. Lu Xian instinctively edged away, slightly swinging her arm in refusal. Her pale neck bobbed, showing she was conflicted. Take it, this time, Jiang Cheng emphasized his tone, practically shoving the Fanta into her hand. Drink. Whoa. Maybe startled by Jiang Cheng's move, Lu Xian's hand trembled as she held the drink. She didn't move for what seemed like forever. Drink. Jiang Cheng frowned, ordering her in a somewhat bossy tone. Okay. Lu Xian, who wasn't good with guys, was taken aback by Jiang Cheng's bossy behavior. Mechanically, she brought the bottle to her lips and took a sip. The cold, sweet grape soda slid down her throat, quenching her desperate thirst. She took another long gulp. A third of the bottle was gone in an instant. A refreshing feeling spread through her. Lu Xian's beautiful eyes narrowed slightly, and a trace of contentment appeared on her face. Burp. As soon as she lowered the bottle, a small burp escaped her lips. Oh. Lu Xian quickly covered her mouth, glancing up nervously. Her eyes met Jiang Cheng's. Almost instantly, she looked away like a startled deer, her face flushed. What a sweet girl, Jiang Cheng grinned. In all his years, he'd never met someone so pure as Lu Xian, and she was stunning. Jiang Cheng considered Zhong Xier, who had been after him for years, to be the most beautiful of all the women he had ever met. Even the beautiful upperclassmen, Han Lisha, and the elegant Ling Runan, paled in comparison. He never expected Lu Xian, his classmate for only 6 months in his previous life, to rival Zhong Xier, and her figure was even better. Wasn't she a total catch? Seeing how lovely Lu Xian was, even Jiang Cheng, who originally wanted to avoid any romantic entanglements, couldn't help himself. Letting a girl as beautiful, smart, and innocent as her slip away would be a crime. Even though Lu Xian kept her head down, avoiding his gaze, she could still feel Jiang Cheng watching her intently. Her heart pounded in her chest, and she didn't know what to do. She quietly raised her hand, cupping her now rosy lips, and coughed softly. Assemble. Instructor Sun's booming voice echoed from the playground outside the woods. Lu Xian, shy and helpless, acted as if she'd been given a reprieve. She quickly adjusted her hat, left Jiang Cheng, and ran toward the group on the playground. Little thing. Jiang Cheng smiled, put his hands behind his back, and started walking toward the class. Wait. He stopped suddenly, scratching his head, puzzled. He had forgotten to give the water to his boys. Attention. At ease. Attention. That evening, Instructor Sun's raspy voice echoed across the playground as the sun set. Everyone. Be on the playground at 7 tomorrow morning. Dismissed. Ouch. The crowd dispersed. A weary Zhu Hao collapsed onto the ground. Jiang Cheng. You're so screwed. You're worthless. The fat guy yelled from the ground. How could you do this to me? Where's the ice-cold Coke I asked you to bring? It's in the woods. Jiang Cheng said casually as he dashed off. Hey, where are you going? Gotta do something. Jiang Cheng called back, not looking back as he scanned the crowd, looking for Lu Xian, but the playground was swarming with freshmen from class 09, all wearing identical camouflage uniforms, making it hard to find anyone. He scanned left and right, not seeing her, and bumped into someone. Ow! A girl cried out, rubbing her head. She pulled down her hat and glared at Jiang Cheng. He froze. It was Zhong Xier. In all this crowd, he ran into her. It was really a small world. Jiang Cheng. What are you doing? Zhong Xier glared at him, upset. Watch where you're going. Oh, sorry. Jiang Cheng glanced around, distracted, and rubbed his hands together. Zhong Xier thought he was going to help her up. She huffed, turning her head, trying to ignore him, but Jiang Cheng didn't move for a long time. Looking up, she saw that Jiang Cheng had completely ignored her and was quickly walking away. Zhong Xier, still on the ground, was so angry that her face turned red, and she stomped her feet repeatedly. Jiang Cheng. You jerk. After looking around, he finally spotted Lu Xian, who looked to be in a hurry, at the school gate. Lu Xian. Jiang Cheng rushed to her, repeatedly asking, what a coincidence. You're leaving school too? Yeah. Seeing that he had caught up to her again, Lu Xian's eyes widened as she stammered. Where are you going? Want a ride? Jiang Cheng didn't care. He knew that the most effective tactic with an innocent and shy girl like Lu Xian was shameless persistence. No, no need. For some reason, Lu Xian seemed anxious. She kept glancing outside the school gate, quickening her pace, as if desperate to get away from Jiang Cheng. What's wrong? Are you in a hurry? Jiang Cheng found it even more strange and picked up his pace. It's really not. Lu Xian's tone was bordering on tears. Jiang Cheng. Please. Don't follow me anymore. Okay. Jiang Cheng nodded thoughtfully and stopped. Even with persistence, it was important to know when to back off. He walked to the railing by the school gate, quietly watching Lu Xian rush outside, then anxiously looking around. Soon, the middle-aged woman he had seen before showed up on an electric bike, scolding Lu Xian. Lu Xian kept her head down, saying nothing. Her mother finished her lecture. Lu Xian got on the back of the bike, and they rode off together. Watching them leave, Jiang Cheng touched his chin, deep in thought. Chapter 37. You are listening at undefeated.audio. When Jiang Cheng got back to the dorm, the whole floor reeked of feet and sweat. Sticky and sweaty himself, Jiang Cheng didn't waste any time once he stepped inside. Wearing just his shorts, he headed straight for the bathroom. He reached for the doorknob, and the first thing he saw when he looked up was the fat man's big, pale butt. He yelled holy shit, and slammed the door shut, which made the fat man jump in the shower. Cheng. Bro Cheng. Can't we talk this out? You don't gotta come at me like that. What the hell? I'm trying to shower here. Damn it. I'm not finished yet. Well, hurry up. Get out of the way, I need to wash off, you creep. I feel all gross and sticky. Why? Why? Is it always, first come, first served? Huh? You think you're so special? What else would it be? The fat man was speechless for a second, then glanced down at Jiang Xiaocheng, then over at Zhu Xiaohao. He grabbed his towel, gritting his teeth, and stormed out, slamming the door. Fine, you win, Jiang Cheng, now showering in the cold water, just laughed. Nobody else knows, but he knew the fat man was always taking forever in the shower. God knows if he's actually washing or just jerking off in there. When I was a young boy. After showering, Jiang Cheng came out humming a little tune. He'd just lit a cigarette, ready to feel like a king, when his ears, still ringing from instructor Sun yelling all afternoon, were assaulted by some clumsy and awful guitar playing. It was harsh and noisy, like a pig being slaughtered, mixed with the singing. I can't hold on to my love, I always watch it slip away. The happiness in the world is so lewd. God damn it, who is this? Li Xiaofeng, driven crazy by the noise, jumped up and yelled across the hall, can you learn to play? Surprisingly, this didn't stop the pig slaughtering noises. In fact, they got louder. Jiang Cheng frowned. Of course he knew who was singing. It was Hu Zhihan, the tone-deaf king in their class. Being tone-deaf was bad enough, but this guy had no self-awareness and thought he was amazing. He called himself the Lin Jishuan of their school, singing and playing all by himself. Everyone else called him a heart-wrenching song that leaves you searching for a soulmate. In his previous life, Jiang Cheng had been tortured by this guy's beautiful voice. If he got started, nobody would get any peace and quiet tonight. Let's go. Let's hit the club. Thinking about it, Jiang Cheng waved his hand, signaling the attack. Not only did his sidekicks, Li Xiaofeng and Lu Yijie, respond, but even the fat man, who usually ignored everything outside of his computer screen, ripped off his headphones, ditching his online teammates, and rushed out cursing. Even the fat man could be driven to action by this guy's heart-wrenching song. That's how powerful it was. Jiang Cheng figured he couldn't do that. The door of room 405 was kicked open, and the crew grabbed Hu Zhihan, who was busy wailing. Dude, what the hell are you doing? On-site lesson. Pay attention and learn something. Jiang Cheng's face was serious as he picked up the other guy's guitar. Because Zhong Xier loved guitar, Jiang Cheng in his past life, wanting to impress her, secretly took lessons when he was a sophomore. he wouldn't call himself a pro, but he could fake it well enough. He played a couple of chords. Not gonna lie, Hu Zhihan's playing and singing were awful, but the guitar was top-notch. Hey bro Cheng, you can play too. Hearing Jiang Cheng play those chords, Hu Zhihan, who was pinned down under the fat man's butt, lit up. I know a little. A little, Jiang Cheng said. Jiang Cheng fretted with his left hand and plucked the strings with his right, and a free and easy melody rose from the wooden guitar. I am as free as the wind, just like your gentleness, I can't hold you back. The moment the song started, everyone in the dorm was stunned. His naturally smoky voice, combined with the easy melody of Wei Zi's Free as the Wind, was full of life's ups and downs. In this era of shallow love and decay, it instantly resonated with everyone. Plus, Wei Zi was from Xijing originally and had tons of fans among the local young people, so, when Jiang Cheng started singing, the Xijing natives, who made up a large number of the freshmen in 2009, were immediately hooked. Computer use wasn't widespread in the freshman dorms, and most guys spent their time smoking, drinking, and singing. Hearing the chorus, more and more people started gathering around. The beds, desks, floors, and balconies in the 405 dorm were packed with people. Once there was no more room to squeeze into the dorm, the latecomers blocked the doorway and sat in rows in the hallway. Everyone followed Jiang Cheng's lead and sang loudly. You push away my outstretched hands, go away, it's better not to. Look back, endless drifting desire for freedom, all vicissitudes are born alone. What the heck? The boys' dorm is going crazy tonight. That the loud singing obviously got the attention of the girls' dorm not far away. Curious faces crowded the balconies, looking over at the boys' dorm and gossiping. I asked my boyfriend, and he said there's a really good singer and guitar player in the finance department. Really? Is he cute? Is he tall? Is he hung? How am I supposed to know? Let's go check it out. Hold on, let me grab my black stockings. Girl, this is the boys' dorm. Rainbow stockings aren't going to help you. You can't just walk in there. Sheer, did you hear that? In the girls' dorm, Wang Yuan, excited, danced around and said to Zhong Xie, who was sitting at the desk tuning her guitar. I just heard from the seniors upstairs that all the commotion in the boys' dorm is because there's a guitar expert in the finance department. You play guitar too, do you know who it is? How would I know? Zhong Xie tied her hair back and smiled helplessly. I've barely been here. I don't know any guys. Oh. Hearing this, the chubby Wang Yuan was slightly stunned, covered her mouth and laughed. No way, you and Jiang Cheng seem pretty familiar with each other. Could it be him? That's unlikely, Zhong Xie said, blinking. I've never heard of him playing an instrument. TSK, Wang Yuan poked Zhong Xie with both hands, twisting her waist and teasing, you know him so well. You guys must be close. Oh, Wang Yuan, don't talk nonsense. Zhong Xie frowned and said seriously, Jiang Cheng and I are just old classmates. Besides that. Absolutely. No other relationship. Okay. Chapter 38. You are listening at undefeated.audio. Edited content. Time flies, before you know it, the freshman military training is almost over. Alright, everyone. Attention. At ease. Instructor Sun's voice was rough as he shouted, this Sunday, we're having a performance to show off what you've learned. Besides the marching drills, each class needs to come up with 2 acts for a talent show. He paused, cleared his throat, and announced, Finance Class 4, get together and figure out a plan. We want everyone to participate. The students immediately started buzzing. Perform in front of all the freshmen. No way, not me. Anyone who wants to go can go. Does anyone in our class even have any skills? I think Xie plays guitar pretty well. Perfect. Everyone's eyes landed on Zhong Xie. Goddess. Wang Yuan, standing closest to her, suggested, we're leaving the girls' performance up to you, okay? Sure. Zhong Xie didn't hesitate. Even though she had a cool personality, she was confident in her guitar skills and loved being on stage. Great, Instructor Sun nodded, satisfied that the girls had picked their performer, and turned to the guys. What's wrong with you all? The girls have it figured out, but you're all just standing around. It's just a performance. Sing a song, do a dance, anything. Instructor Sun's words got the boys fired up. Come on, man. Save us here. How about we do a group military boxing thing? No way, you're on your own. Fine. I'll just go up and sing a solo. Someone shut Hu Jahan up. Wait. What old Hu said gave me an idea. The girls have Zhong Xier, and we have Cheng Gu. Someone shouted. All eyes swung to Jiang Cheng at the back. Jiang Cheng, snapped out of his daze, felt his face go pale. Great, here it comes. Cheng. Li Xiaofeng put a serious hand on Jiang Cheng's shoulder and said, the honor of all the guys in finance class 4 is in your hands. All right. Jiang Cheng couldn't back down and nodded. Cheng. If you need backup, I'm your man. Get lost. Back in the dorm, Jiang Cheng logged into his stock account. From the jump on Monday to today, Friday, it had gone up every single day, and there was another jump coming next Monday. Jiang Cheng's gift for investment, that showed a 24-hour stock market investment return, wasn't affected by holidays, so, Yunnan mining was going up for 6 days straight. His $12 million investment, with over 70% returns, meant he was making over $8 million. Adding that to his $3 million, his personal cash was over $10 million for the first time. And it had only taken a week. He lit a cigarette, leaned back, and felt like he was dreaming. 10 days ago, he was a washed-up guy going nowhere. Now, he was a millionaire. It was like that line from that movie, Life is like a box of chocolates. Jiang Cheng turned off the computer and thought, with this amount of money, he could use more leverage. Funds under $100 million weren't that big in the stock market, but soon, with the snowball effect, Jiang Cheng would be able to move a lot of money. He couldn't just rely on this anymore. Remembering his lottery ticket experience, he wondered if the changes from investing more in the stock market could cause unpredictable changes. Investment security couldn't be guaranteed. Also, the more money, the harder it was to manage. He obviously didn't have the energy to handle it all. The stock market was just the place to get the money to set him up for the future by investing in shares. Plus, he needed to start enjoying life. The Playboy life. Anyway, it was time to set up a professional company. He'd need enough traders. He could use his gift to find good investment targets and have them buy up large amounts of shares. Breaking everything down into parts would have less impact on the stock market. The risk would be minimal. Then, he could spend a little time checking in on the stock market remotely. Easy, but for the long term, he'd need a professional and reliable team of stock managers and analysts. After all, before the crash, the Chinese stock market was worth it. Now that the planning was done, who should he ask for help with the preparations? His phone rang. He laughed when he saw the caller. He had the perfect candidate. Hello, one. Jiang Cheng answered. Hello, Mr. Jiang. Yunnan mining has gone up for 5 days straight. Congratulations. Thank you, Jiang Cheng said. You didn't call just to congratulate me, did you? You got me, Mr. Jiang. Are you free tomorrow night? What's up? Mr. Yang Rui and Ms. Renli would like to invite you to dinner. What do you think? Chapter 39. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Friday evening rush hour in Xijing was a nightmare. Trying to get through the big Wild Goose Pagoda area was the worst. A walk that normally took 10 minutes turned into an hour-long crawl through a sea of cars and people. It's all my buddy Sun's fault for dragging me down on the last day of military training. Stuck in the back of a cab, Jiang Cheng glanced at the evening star sinking in the west and grumbled to himself. It was almost 7:30 before he finally made it to his dinner. The Liangbao Tower Zhejiang State Banquet was located near the famous Tang Furong Garden. Jiang Cheng had never been there, but he'd heard Li Xiaofeng mention it was one of the priciest restaurants in Xijing, specializing in state banquet cuisine. He got out of the car and headed inside. The decor was an over-the-top Ming and Qing dynasty imperial style. Carved beams, painted columns, dragons and phoenixes everywhere, all glitz and gold. There was even a full-size replica of the dragon throne from the Hall of Supreme Harmony in the Forbidden City. looking magnificent under the lights. "Hello, sir." A woman in a cheongsam, acting as a greeter, approached him politely. "Do you have a reservation?" Jiang Cheng nodded calmly. "Hanwha." The woman seemed surprised, then her expression became even more respectful. Qin Brick and Han Tile were the two premier private rooms for state banquets at Zhejiang, with meals prepared by chefs experienced in cooking for dignitaries. Only the wealthy and powerful frequented them. "Please, follow me." She led him to a VIP elevator to the top floor and to the door of a lavishly decorated room. She knocked politely on the solid wood door, adorned with swirling cloud patterns. After a reply from inside, she pushed the doors open. "Mr. Jiang, please come in." Jiang Cheng nodded and walked in slowly. The three walls were lined with solid wood display cases, each holding a Han Dynasty tile. Simple, elegant, and grand, they showcased the dignity and majesty of China. Famous calligraphy, paintings, antiques, and jade pieces completed the collection. It was like stepping into a private museum. "Mr. Jiang." Wen Jia, already seated at the round table, quickly stood to greet him politely. Jiang Cheng nodded and looked towards the two middle-aged men and women in suits. "Mr. Jiang, it's a pleasure to meet you." The man stood with a smile, shook Jiang Cheng's hand, and said, "I'm Yang Rui, General Manager for the Northwest region of Zhaoshang Securities." "Hello, Manager Yang." Jiang Cheng returned the greeting. "Hello, Mr. Jiang." The woman in the suit stepped forward, smiling. "I'm Ren Li, President of the Xijing branch of Zhaoshang Bank. It's our first meeting, and I look forward to working with you." "The pleasure's mine." Jiang Cheng replied, projecting confidence. He knew these two were influential figures in Qinzhou province, yet they were treating him, a young man, with respect. It wasn't just his 10 million in cash that they were interested in. Qinzhou's economy might lag behind, but it had plenty of coal barons with hundreds of millions in cash flow. Compared to them, his 10 million was small, so, something was up, Jiang Cheng thought quickly. They must have noticed how quickly he'd amassed his fortune, reaching 10 million in a week. Who would believe a young guy could do that through luck? The only reasonable explanation was a powerful family backing him. Realizing this, Jiang Cheng relaxed. If they wanted to assume he was a big shot, he'd play along. Now he'd see what resources he could get from these two. Access to a major bank like Zhaoshang would be a huge boost. After introductions, they sat down, with Jiang Cheng in the place of honor. He didn't refuse or overreact, maintaining a natural demeanor. Yang Rui and Ren Li, observing him, exchanged nods, further solidifying their belief in his influential background. "Well, Mr. Jiang," Yang Rui began. "President Ren and I simply wanted to meet a talent like yourself. We also wanted to discuss future cooperation." "Oh," Jiang Cheng smiled slightly. "Manager Yang, please, speak freely." Yang Rui chuckled. "First, we both want to thank you for choosing Zhaoshang Group. To better serve you and strengthen our relationship, I can promise that Zhaoshang Securities can offer you a higher margin than before." "Higher?" Jiang Cheng asked casually. "How much higher?" "Up to 7 times leverage." Yang Rui nodded, smiling. "Increasing your capital allocation to 500 million. Even Jiang Cheng, determined to remain calm, felt a jolt. With that kind of capital, he could snowball his investments. He could become a billionaire in no time. Chapter 40. You are listening at Mtlnovel Audio. Thanks a bunch, Manager Yang. Jiang Cheng was stoked, but he kept his cool, not letting it show on his face. "I'm looking forward to a great partnership." Cheng Jiang, you're too kind." Yang Rui, clearly pleased, raised his glass with a smile. "No need for thanks. Allow me to propose a toast to our future." As the head honcho of Zhaoshang Securities for the Northwest region, he wasn't born yesterday. He knew Jiang Cheng was someone special, and he was happy to offer the best possible terms. With Jiang Cheng's uncanny ability to win big in the market, the more capital he had, the bigger Yang Rui's cut. Plus, getting on Jiang Cheng's good side couldn't hurt. Win-win situation. He downed a glass of Feitian Matai, feeling the warmth spread. While Jiang Cheng and Yang Rui chatted, Ren Li was discreetly studying Jiang Cheng. sizing him up. Climbing the corporate ladder requires reading people. And it's a key skill for getting along with everyone. From her observations, Jiang Cheng's calm demeanor further cemented her belief that he came from money. In her experience, an average 18-year-old wouldn't be so cool and collected dealing with people like her and Yang Rui, or so unfazed by a potential $500 million investment. He was calm, composed, a natural. Asterisk, he's definitely from a well-off family, asterisk, she thought. Mr. Jiang, she said, smiling as she raised her glass. Thank you for choosing to work with Zhaoshang Group. Cheers to a successful partnership. Ren Li's tone was genuine. She didn't act superior because of her age, she even addressed him more formally. Jiang Cheng noticed the change in her tone, nodded, and smiled slightly, while the others talked. Wen Jie, who felt like a wallflower, listened attentively. Seeing Jiang Cheng's glass was empty, she quickly refilled it. When the glass was full, Jiang Cheng raised it to Ren Li. Mr. Jiang, Ren Li said after her sip, I'm thrilled to share some great news. Our bank has decided to upgrade your customer VIP level to private banking as an exception. Private banking? Jiang Cheng's eyebrows shot up. Having worked in finance before, he knew Zhaoshang Bank's VIP tiers, regular, golden sunflower, diamond, and private banking. To hit private banking status, you needed an average daily balance of at least $1.5 million for months, and that was just the minimum. Across the entire country, only a few thousand people out of over 1 billion qualified. They were the cream of the crop. Being invited into this group was like getting a golden ticket into China's elite circle. Exactly, Ren Li said, adjusting her glasses. From now on, you'll have access to all the benefits and resources available to our top-tier clients. Plus, we'll assign you a personal secretary. For any large transactions, legal needs, starting a company, or even going public, you can work directly with her to get our full support. Personal secretary? Jiang Cheng mused, glancing at Wen Jie, asterisk, if she's going to be my secretary, she's gotta be at least at her level, star. Well, Xiao Wen. Yang Rui, quick on the uptake, noticed Jiang Cheng's gaze. I think you should be Mr. Jiang's personal secretary. Huh? Me? Wen Jie stammered, surprised. What are you waiting for? Yang Rui said, smiling. Thank Mr. Jiang for the opportunity. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Jiang. Wen Jie came to and bowed to Jiang Cheng. Being a private banking secretary meant a huge step up in the company, not to mention the benefits. Plus, she was attracted to Jiang Cheng. He was rich, successful, handsome, and younger than her. Young, rich guy was a jackpot. Wait, what am I thinking? That with the business settled, the atmosphere in the room relaxed. At Yang Rui's direction, a hostess in a stunning cheongsam glided in gracefully. Behind her, a chef stood respectfully with a serving cart. A line of waitresses followed, each carrying a work of art on a plate. Mr. Jiang, Ren Li said, smiling, the chefs here are state banquet masters. The food is incredible. We hope you enjoy it. President Ren, you're too kind. Jiang Cheng was excited. In his past life, he'd seen videos of state banquet meals. He'd always wanted to try one, but he'd never had the chance. Now, he was about to dig in. Maybe it would be so good it would trigger his joyful life talent. First up was braised abalone. On a huge white plate sat a palm-sized abalone. It was covered in a rich sauce, with 2 pieces of asparagus as garnish. It looked and smelled delicious, making their mouths water. Welcome, honored guest. This braised abalone is Chef Lin's signature dish. We've sourced the finest abalone from Japan. We hope you enjoy it. The hostess bowed slightly and explained with a warm smile. She knew who to address. The young man in the head seat. Smarts like that were key to a job like hers. Looks good. Jiang Cheng glanced at the hostess and nodded slightly. Asterisk, damn, she must wear at least a 36D star. Shaking off his thoughts, Jiang Cheng picked up his fork and smiled at Yang Rui and Ren Li. Let's dig in. Huh, of course, Yang Rui and Ren Li said, but they waited for Jiang Cheng to take the first bite before trying it themselves. Not bad. Jiang Cheng said, impressed. The abalone was smooth, chewy, and flavorful. The cooking time was perfect, with no fishy aftertaste. While everyone ate, the other dishes arrived: state banquet boiled cabbage, lion's head meatballs, crab roe with treasures, Buddha jumps over the wall, all delicacies that Jiang Cheng had only heard of. After a few drinks and some incredible food, everyone was happy,